This is the Super Bear from Bear Forest Knives. This knife is a prototype and it is also in a new steel Sup9 from New Jersey Steel Baron, which is 5155. It's very similar to 5160. Now Bear Forest Knives reached out to me and wanted me to test this new design and this new steel to see if it could hold up to the kind of abuse and use that he wanted. So you see here what I'm doing is I'm beating on some seasoned locust. This is really tough stuff, and this is a pretty hard test. However, I would still consider this test to be within the realm of standard use for a bushcraft knife. That's where this boy comes in. This twisted maple is truly some ultimately nasty stuff. It's more nasty than normal knots. It's more nasty than all of the big stuff that you can see. You can see here being a full flat ground blade. This knife is not only bent but also twisted. That is what this wood does. Full flat grind, saber grind, doesn't matter. This is some brutal stuff. And we did ultimately bend the blade, as you can see here. So what do we do for testing? Well, we see if we can bend it back straight and use it again. I was able to do this without a problem, and actually I continued using this knife and batoning, making the baton that you saw earlier, continue to beat on it, and I will continue to beat on it going forward to see if we have any stress fractures or permanent damage. However, at the end of this testing, I decided we are going to continue using it, and I decided to test the sharpness. Now, shout out to Peterbilt Knife Guy, who normally does this test. I suck at it, and yes, I did cheat with my hand. However, our edge is still sharp. At 36 thou behind the edge, it's not exactly slicey, but it is convex, and it will do work. Now, shout out to Scab at Choir Boys for this test, which again I cheated on. In the wind, I could not for anything get this paper to stand up, but we've got no dings, we've got no rolls, nothing funky going on after all of that abuse. We go through paper, and in a second, I'll try to show you that we still shave hair. We've got feather sticks, we've got quite a bit of stuff done. The edge is still holding. Now, normally we would have done this at the beginning, but here we're doing it at the end. So testing shall continue. And what I've done a couple feather sticks, but just beat the snot out of this knife and disrespected it. Not in a way so far that would be really hard on the edge. So if I was cutting a bunch of cardboard, I bet it'd be dull as dirt right now. However, a woods knife, edge retention is not nearly so important because wood is not nearly so abrasive.